Okay, it's 7:33, time to call this meeting of the Parks and Rec order. We have a few things Scott wants to discuss. Scott, you have the floor.
Thank you. So before going forth, the Rotary Club contacted me and they're interested in doing some projects around town. I gave them a whole list of things that we could do, and they actually wanted the whole list to consider funding. So I don't know that that'll happen, but I want to make sure, because they all involve parks, that you're okay with everything before I actually do the official ask.
Okay.
The first one was to power wash and paint the pool house exterior. So that would be the white and the green. It hasn't been done. I assume it's original paint, but it's faded. It'll make it look a lot better there. So for $6,000, we can refurbish old poles that were on the square, because we've saved them all. We can have them sanded down and repowder coated and rewire them and install them in Nelson Commons. We can put 6 of them in there because we've had several complaints that lighting's bad in there.
Yeah. We talked about
And
that.
we can put those in there, and then the little shelter house that the Rotary built a long time ago needs some repairs. You know, different storms have knocked some flashing off, and I think that'd be a really neat project. So they're interested in doing that, and then also buying a couple of these steel picnic tables coated in rubber that we can bolt to the ground there. So I just didn't want to push down the alley too far without making sure everybody's going to be okay with those improvements. And I think they'll all be very good improvements, but
I don't have a problem with any of that. I think it's great that we're gonna repurpose old
Yeah,
stairs.
because I believe that we talked about even trying to find some grant money somewhere to put in lighting at Nelson Commons Park. So
We
that,
did.
I think that would be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
then the last one, it's still very, very early in the idea and development phase, is at the old park. As soon as you go into the old park, right where the gate used to be, and there's the little gatehouse there, there's
Yep.
that wedge of land that goes down through there where the shelter house is. I would like to get a big STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics ship. It's a pirate ship. Anyway, it's a big, huge playground thing. And where that would come from payment wise is AEP actually has a community improvement grant as well, and their biggest thing is STEM. So I'm already working with AEP, and I've started working with the company who would design and build it. And but I don't want to get too far down the rabbit hole if there's going to be some serious objection. But it would be a big pirate ship. As soon as you go into Poly, right there, pointing. Of course, they would have their sign out, you know, paid for by AEP and their vision. And part of the sell was also to put that there, so when a train goes by, you know, they'd be able to advertise. Ideally, I would like to get over time, get the park equipment that's in the back area pulled out of there. So I would hate to get rid of that shelter house down there because it's really handy for doing
It's a
stuff.
great shelter house.
But I don't know what that looks like, but I just want to bring that to your attention that I want to push down that aisle. I mean, I don't think I need anything official, but I want to push back if you guys were going to push back on that stuff.
No, I think that makes sense to kind of pull that playground area from Holly more towards the front where there's better line of sight and traffic, if you will, than in the back where the road gets bad. It's hard to get a car back there.
We have that shut off now.
Yeah. And a lot of that equipment is really, I mean, it's been there since I was a kid. So it's,
Yeah, it doesn't.
at
get
least
used a lot
20
where
years
it's
old
at.
because I'm 25.
Right.
I agree. I think it's great because I mean, kids do use that, like when the ball fields are being used in the summer and little brothers and sisters and whatever are there, they use that playground equipment. So we need playground equipment there. I think this is a great way to use it.
I'd like to see eventually, it's probably not feasible in the next 12 months, but another shelter house. You'd be amazed how many people do family gatherings down at that shelter house through the week, on the weekends, you name it, multiple on the weekends. It's just, it's exciting to see down there, especially once we get the sewer line down there, and being able to use the
Facilities.
facilities up there. So,
Yeah.
and there was one other thing, and I just brain dumped it because it popped in my mind last second. But The blocks that I mentioned to you guys, that you already gave me approval for, they're super expensive right now, so we're holding out.
Oh,
So we should be able to get them for 35, 40 bucks each, and right now they're 70. So I'm gonna hold until we can get them cheaper, and then we can plop those around there. We are planning on going on the backside of the concrete wall down there and clearing all the underbrush out and only leaving the big trees that are down there. Right now, it's a perfect place for homeless to hide, and guys go down there every other day and run them out of the same spots. So this will make it not easy to hide. Also, it'll make a nice recreation area for people next summer who want to pull their kayaks out there. That'll give them a nice open, clear space that they can do that.
Actually, that reminds me, and I think we talked about this at a previous meeting, is that we had been asked to have a pullout spot.
Yeah.
An official pullout spot there at Holly, or, I can't remember what those are called. I'm not a
Launching
river
area.
dweller. But there's something official that those are called on like maps.
So they have to go through a whole certification process.
Yeah.
I'm actually very familiar. One of the biggest expenses to us is going to have a clam. I think it's clam study done. I think it was a clam that's really popular in the Hocking River. And that's about $1,000. And then there's a couple other things you have to do after that. What I would like to propose instead is when we tear down the old sewer plant, I would like to have an official ramp put in there. And that way there would be parking down there and people could pull out there. And that would also be a nice access point for the fire department for water rescue and build a dog park.
I thought we talked about putting a dog park at, like
Behind Rocky.
where that gas, the, Columbia Gas is, and that property there that,
So the big lot, I talked to the folks that own it and selling it. We're not on the same page for price. And the back lot there, it is narrow. So there's one on Back Street that lines up against the railroad tracks there that we could go from our lift station. Once that trailer is out of the way, currently that lot there, that their trailer is on our property, that 50 by 50
Right.
lot, they're asking a massive amount of money for that 50 by 50 slot, and the trailer's not out of the way yet. So if we were to put it down at the sewer plant, where the old sewer plant is, we already have a building there with bathrooms in it, and we could utilize for storage for equipment. And the biggest expense would probably be the fencing, but I've heard a lot of interest in dog parks. So once we commit to a plan, if you're, I believe we get that ramp put in at no extra cost
Okay.
because they're gonna be down there doing the work anyways. We would just need to get the permit.
Okay.
And they'll level it all out, and then we would put the fence in and parking and go from there.
Sounds good.
sounds good.
So that's all I was looking for, is push back to stop and hit the brakes on anything.
Nope, sound good ideas to me.
Okay, that's all I got.
You have anything else? Okay. This meeting will be adjourned at 7:42.